Welcome to the garage. Last week I said we'd do some energy weapon testing, and we're starting with fixed cannons. The fixed cannons are set up on cooling units to make sure they don't overheat. As you can see from the diagram there, we should not expect any loss in heating. We're still in the green or green-yellow zone. The testing method is pretty simple. We're just going to hold the fire button for 30 or 45 seconds and make sure we don't see any signs of overheating. So I don't know if these are firing sequentially very quickly and then waiting for a reload, or if they're batch firing, but the end result is a 0.45 second reload as shown in the top left there, and I'll keep those up for the next several tests. Simple change here. We're going to take the guns, pull them off the cooling units, and they do sort of a real-time heat indication, so it'll take a little while for all the guns to show what their final heat state is. You can see the 4 in the middle are turning red. The 2 outside ones will stay pale orange in this firing mode. There is an additional firing mode I'll show you in a moment. Initially the firing rate is higher, but I'm more concerned with the firing rate being maintained. And despite the red indicating 40% on the previous screen, I only saw about a 15% decrease. And throughout all these tests, it looks like that initial delay period when the firing rate is changing is 2, 3, 4 seconds. As always, warning, we do have spoilers in these videos. So we're going to change to the cannon firing mode. This is a late game feature, alien technology that you learn to incorporate into your ship. Draws more power, does more damage. It does have a decrease over distance effect. So we're going to keep the same setup with the cannons not cooled, and you see they get quite a bit more red in color, even the outside ones. And these are, as you can see, very sequential. So now we'll change back to cooling the cannons. There are bigger cannons in the game. These are the first level of cannon. And just audibly you can tell they're firing much faster. So we get a 40% slower firing rate when the cannons are overheated. So now we're going to do the similar tests. I can't really do it on lasers, the way the targeting systems work, but we can try the plasma guns. So we've got a couple of level 2 plasmas blocked in by structure and armor to get them to overheat. So the change we'll make is just moving the bulkheads to give some open space to cool the plasma. And while I was doing that, I thought I would show some of the engine heat mechanics. So the engines seem to radiate heat mostly from the sides. They do have a position behind them that is required to be open for thrust. Using some cooling vents there to get the plasma cooler. And just showing here the engines will tolerate one side being partially blocked, but heat quickly if two sides are, and they don't seem to care particularly about the spaces near the rear. Now we'll do the final test for the day. And again, we get that roughly 40% slower firing rate. I don't have a convenient way to test the lasers. I'm going to assume there's something in the same ballpark until we can prove otherwise. That's basically all I have for this week. Next week I think we're going to try to look at speed, see what kind of speed you can obtain. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.